This is the main street in VARAMIN. It's dedicated to those killed during one of the bloodiest uprisings leading up to the 1979 revolution. This town sits about 35 kilometers southeast of Tehran and is home to 280,000 people. 195,000 of them are eligible voters. One of them is DAVOUD Safari, who owns this car battery shop. Safari has been working with cars for nearly 20 years and is a native of VARAMIN. He explains why voting on Friday is crucial for the people in his town.
I will vote for now because if I don't and my friends don't and others don't, then who will? Who will support the establishment? If we leave the system alone, then our officials won't be able to do anything.
This town has only one seat in parliament, and 27 approved candidates are fighting for it. All are running for the first time. That includes AHMAD REZAEE, who says he believes he can make a difference for the people here.
Our town has a number of problems and deficiencies, and a concerned lawmaker should pursue these problems. I promise if I make it to parliament as a local of this town, I will pay attention to their problems. I have felt them and seen them for myself.
One of the main concerns here, as in other parts of the country, is the economy.
Yes, I will take part in the election because this town is facing many problems. The most important one is unemployment. There are things I expect from the person I vote for, and I hope the next MP understands this town's woes.
No, I won't participate because they don't do anything about our problems. I'm studying now, but there is no job for me. Today's major problems? Inflation and sanctions. Our economy is awful. When the election is done, they don't even look at this town.
Safari also says the economy is the main issue for him. He has 2 small children and says he earns in rials but spends in dollars. That means as Iran's currency loses value, life is getting tougher. By voting, many here believe they can hope for a better future. The views of the people in VARAMIN on the parliamentary elections reflect those of many in Iran. Despite the fact that the current MP from here has been disqualified, many still believe in the system as a whole. It's not just about electing their next member of parliament, but rather a show of support for the political system that came into being over 4 decades ago in 1979. Dorsa, Jabbari, Al Jazeera, VARAMIN.
Well, let's speak now to FOAD IZADI, who's in Tehran. He is a professor of world studies at the University of Tehran. Thank you so much for your time. Talk to me about the major issues for voters. From what we heard in Dorsa's package there, it seems like sort of bread and butter issues, the economy, lack of jobs, sanctions.
That's true. I think the economy is the #1 issue that is on everybody's mind. They want to see inflation reduced. Most people are suffering because of high currency rates, which is it has a negative effect on the prices. It increases the inflation. So that's very important. The second issue is foreign policy. The Rouhani administration has not been successful in terms of getting some of the objectives done. The United States left the nuclear agreement, and that was a setback for Rouhani and his team. People who oppose Rouhani politically are using that fact to portray his foreign policy as a failed policy. There are also local issues that people deal with. In your report, you referenced a town in north of Tehran. Small towns have their own difficulties, problems, issues. So that's going to be on people's mind when they vote for their parliament representative.
Something Dorsa didn't mention there is that obviously thousands of candidates have been barred from running by the Guardian Council. Analysts say people now have a choice between hardliners and conservatives who are loyal to Ayatollah Khamenei. What do you think?
I don't think that's accurate. In Tehran, for example, there are at least 7 different lists that the reformists and the people who support President Rouhani are presenting. So there are plenty of candidates, including reformist candidates, supporters of Rouhani, moderates, and they are in Tehran. There are 50 people competing for every one seat. In your report, you had 27 people competing for one seat in that town. So there are plenty of candidates. In fact, people are confused because there are a lot of issues that the candidates talk about, and there's no shortage of candidates. People are disqualified also, and generally they're disqualified because of the laws in Iran that bars individuals in taking part in the elections if, for example, they don't accept the constitution. So the competition is between people who accept the current constitution of Iran, whether they're reformers or conservatives or principalists or whatever. But yes, if someone does not support the current constitution, if they support the opposition that is based outside Iran, they're going to be barred. So there are people who are disqualified for that reason. There are some people who are disqualified because of economic issues, financial issues. Some of the current MPs were disqualified generally because they used their position to advance their own economic situation and financial situation. So there are different reasons for people who are disqualified, but all political parties have enough candidates to compete against each other.
Certainly not the view of the reformists who are current parliamentarians who have now been barred from running, but it is good to get your views. Thank you for that. That's FOAD IZADI there live from Tehran.